Hello and welcome back to the new moon in Aries video. I hope you've been really well, all things considered, and that life is making more and more sense to you. Thought I'd bring a tea on board today, so I hope you have one as well. How has your last month been? Wow, what I found the month to be probably the strongest of the year so far, probably because Aries really sorts me out and heals me, because it's all about absolutely standing in your truth and not deviating from it. And I've tended to always be a person to stand for others' truths. So yeah, it was a real wake-up call in terms of, okay, you can't just do that for others, it has to be for yourself as well, and no more excuses. You know, Pisces really taught us how to decipher what's real and what's not real and to stay on track. And then Aries is very much about, okay, know thyself, above all else know thyself. And yeah, it's been strong, but I'm really proud to say I'm coming through it. So I hope you are as well. I hope it's been okay, and that you're ready for Taurus. So yeah, go and get that cup of tea or coffee or whatever you need. Get really comfortable and let's get started. See you in a minute. It takes a lot of preparation to arrive at the Taurus energy. And if you've been through the previous months with me, especially since the new moon in Sagittarius in December, then you have come to realize that having a certain amount of spaciousness inside yourself is very important if you're going to be able to live in guided held time. L-I-G-H-T, living in guided held time. The spaciousness in those down months and the new moon in Sagittarius, where we sort of feel this expansion, this real drop, is really where the seed of our truth is seen inside us. We're kind of knowing inwardly, standing by our truth, and most humans just aren't giving themselves that amount of space in the down months to catch those visions inside. So we might set New Year's resolutions, that's the classic time to do it. But are we really, really tuning into our blueprint that once felt inside us magnetizes everything towards us? And once we really know how to read that blueprint and to then come out of winter, sort of journeying through from the winter solstice through to the summer solstice, knowing how to stay out of our own way, how to, as I say, chop wood, carry water, the Zen proverb, how to do the work to keep yourself in the flow, how to really learn, you know, the latest version of yourself, the latest, most conscious, communicative, boundaried, healthy, stable, balanced human, the latest, most new version of yourself every single year. It takes a lot of inner space. It really requires that daily divine discipline and courage and perseverance. I saw a flower last night on my walk, And it's a flower that I see all the time at the moment. I'll show it you later. Coming out of a wall though, and not just a wall, out of a building. So it's been growing inside a dark building, and then it's coming out through the cracks in the rock. And you sometimes see that coming out of the tarmac, but this is actually like horizontal, a few inches off the ground. So not only has it grown in a dark room and then followed the light up, still in the dark room, it's then followed the light through a crack in the wall, through a stone, and then it's come out there. And this is a metaphor and a similar story of what we have to do from winter. We really have to accept our environment, accept our situation, and follow the light. And then we come out the crack of the wall, standing in our truth, standing in our truth, standing in our truth, getting everything else out the way, learning to be more and more compassionate for those that don't get this us yet, that don't get their divine self, to accept the projections that come onto us, to clear away our projections that we put onto other people. And that brings us then to Taurus. Taurus, if you know any Taurian people, they can be called stubborn, or they're always right, this kind of thing. But when you look at the actual energy and you don't label it as a person or a characteristic of a person or a personality, you realize that it's just a very resolute energy. And we need now to be really resolute. We've come this far. We've got further to go to the summer solstice. We've got further to go. We've got work to be done. We know who we are. We know how to navigate the waters. And now, through much reflection, through knowing what doesn't work, through, if you like, knowing the maths of 2 and 2 is 4. 2 and 1 is not 4. For example, for me, a conscious, active, passionate, following a bliss me equals yoga, meditation, breakfast, dog walk before that, then start work. It doesn't equal no yoga, really unhealthy breakfast, or late to bed equals conscious Julie doing her bliss. Do you see what I mean? The maths have to match up. So this is the time of the year where the proof will be in the pudding very soon as to what you're carrying inside yourself and what you're believing. So it's time to get the maths right. Whatever you want, whatever you're desiring, whatever you're creating, however you might want to live completely simply, just being in peace, 2 and 2 equal 4. I describe Taurus as either a mathematician, a divine mathematician, like some kind of sorcerer of old, like Merlin or something, but very scientific, mathematical as well, understanding higher science, but totally knowing the numbers, or an architect. And I like to think of this very handsome, wealthy architect. That's how I see Taurus. And if you say to him, I want a 4-story house, I like to live in a contemporary way, I want 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, and I want it to be really, really spacious, and he does the drawing, he's going to look at the maths, he's going to design it according to your vision, your dream. So if you, for example, wanted a 5-bedroom house, you needed to have told the architect that. So this is where the proof will start to be proven in the pudding, as we say in English, over the next month or 2. If what you want, or how you want to feel, whether that's you want a relationship, a new relationship, you're launching a new project, a new health regime, etc. 2 and 2 equal 4. You're not going to get what you want if you're not putting in or aligning with. If you want 2, you've got to be 2. You see what I mean? It's that simple. You have to get the maths right, and that's it. If in the next month things aren't working, there's something wrong with the maths. And this is how my higher guidance has told me to explain this month. Two different reasons why things might not be working out according to mathematical incorrect calculations. One is you're totally aligned with who you are, and what you want. You know what you want, and you know it's in divine alignment with who you are, but you're not really taking the right steps. You're not taking those right steps, and therefore you're holding yourself back, and it's not coming to fruition. So it's not that the dream's wrong, it's that you're not taking the correct steps. And going into your meditations, your journaling, listening, looking for signs and synchronicities will show you where you're perhaps not doing your 2 and 2 to get 4. The other part of that, part B of that, would be that you're doing the right action, you're totally aligned with your true self, but you can't receive what is coming. You're reacting to people, you're pushing things away, and what could be right for you, you can't see it because you're so used to things going wrong that you can't receive. Receiving really is the key to this work. Once you're aligned and you're set, it becomes very clear whether or not you can receive what's true to you, or whether you're used to receiving it all going wrong, and then you can cope with that because that's an old sense of you. Receiving what you always dream of. It's like they say, be careful what you wish for, because then what are you going to complain about? Oh my goodness. The other reason things may not be working out is because actually what you say you want is not really what you want. And what's happening is, because it's more of a lower mind cocoon-y kind of want. You want it because you don't think you can have what you really want. So it's an egoic want. And it's tiring to try and create like that at these times now. It's tiring to climb uphill. So if it isn't working out, this is where you have to really tune in. Is it actually what you want? And that's quite a humbling experience to tune into that and feel, I've put all this effort in. Is it actually what I want? So, you're going to have to do some tuning in this month to look at the maths. Am I putting the right numbers in? Do I really want 4? And am I doing 2 and 2? Or did I actually want 3? It's going to take a lot of listening to your heart. And that is the key, really, is what does your heart want? Not this. So, what is your nature? What is your true divine nature? And that is also maths. That's like a divine code. If I'm naturally a good public speaker, for example, and I go and work in a library all my life, I'm going to feel frustrated. However, if I'm a librarian naturally and I try to force myself to be a public speaker, no, it's maths, it's code, it's design, it's nature, it's what's natural to you. It's about aligning with what is natural to you. What do you love and what loves you? What tends to come to you when you don't push and you don't try? This is Taurus. Taurus in its pure form knows. And this is where we go back. Let's go back a little bit into Aries. Aries is when you know yourself, and that's where you know that's the house I want. That's the house I want. Taurus is the architect. So you're now seeing the reflection coming back. Is what I want in alignment with what my actions and my heart, is it starting to come into fruition? Am I giving my architect, i.e. the universe, the right information? And why is it or isn't it coming back in direct alignment with what I'm putting out there? Another way of putting that is my dream so pure to me that it's a divine fit for me? If you're a conscious, awakened being, if what you want is designed with your heart, it is going to start coming to fruition this year. This is the year. If it's a divine fit, if it's counterfeit, it's like counterfeit money. It's not real. It's not your real dream. It's not going to be coming to you. And this is up to you to sort of do the deciphering and do the maths this month. And I will be doing this myself. There are many things I'm creating that I'm trying and experimenting. And 'cause this is what it takes in these days. It takes you trying. It takes you taking a risk and putting things out there and trying things. You know, we didn't know who we were as we were growing up because culture, society wasn't mirroring back the right opportunities usually. It was telling you can't be like this. You can't be shy. You can't be creative. You can't be an artist. You can't be da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's important to try, but it's also important to get the feedback. And it's important to check in with yourself that you are actually listening to this. So we could say that in Sagittarius, we had a dream. We had a dream. In Capricorn, we lay the foundation. That's January. In Pisces, we really made sure the foundation was clear. We didn't get complicated. We stayed with our foundation. In Aries, we really communicated with that architect. Yes, this is it. And now we get to see, did we give that right information across? Is it starting to grow? Is it starting to come to fruition? All of nature is doing that. The bird laid the nest, made the nest, laid the egg, it's cracking open. Everything's starting to become green fruit, isn't it? So what is your green fruit? What is revealing itself? It doesn't have to be big. Even if they're very small things you can see, small cracks in the light, that's good enough. Is it moving? Are your creations moving? Are you feeling better? Are you learning how to align? Are you learning not to resist? Are you being stubborn and so Taurian with who you know yourself to be from here? That's how you know. It's giving, life's giving you feedback at the moment. So check in. Is there something wrong with the maths? Or, are you doing it? Are you really being it, doing it, loving it, living it? Another expression that came to me this morning was, are you living the lack or are you loving the potential? Because loving the potential is like the flower following that light through the wall. Loving the potential, knowing who you are, loving it, loving it, loving it, growing towards the light, listening to these lunar monthly energies and adjusting and aligning and staying with your flight path. That is loving your potential. The reason we could say Taurus is so stubborn is because it's at ease. Taurus is at ease because it's a design. It doesn't have to be flamboyant about it. It doesn't have to show off. It just is that design, and that design will be if all the other steps have been put into place. So unlike a flower or a tree, an acorn, an oak tree, You've got choice. So it's you that has to be aligned with the light. You can't just naturally follow it. You've got this mind, this human mind that will focus on what's wrong, focus on what's wrong. What's wrong, we could say, in that flower metaphor, is the wall. But it's not wrong. It's just not the light. Focus on the light, focus on the light. So I also, this handsome architect character that I see, this architect of Taurus I see, is very charismatic, because I'm just following the light. I'm following the plan. I know this is going to happen, and it's just a matter of time and divine time. It may not happen fully this year, but I know I can sit back. It's very attractive, Taurus, because there's no need to worry, is there? There's no need to worry when you know. Taurus isn't arrogant about that. It checks in. It really does analyse and check the maths. So, yeah. That's where we're at. Check in with your divine blueprint, your heart. Check the maths, like, what am I doing? Am I saying I want to be fit and healthy, and actually 2 and 2 is 4, and I'm kind of doing a 6 and a 7? Do I want to improve a certain area of my yoga? Do I want to run further? Do I want to collaborate on a project? Do I want to travel this year? Do I want to earn more money? Do I want to invest money? Do I want to learn about money? Do I want to work less? Do I want to balance my lifestyle? 2 and 2 is 4. You know what I'm saying. You know, put the highlighter in your mind of those things you know are the bad maths, and adjust them, you know, bring them into harmony. I've just finished with a story of a client of mine who I won't name, and I'm sure they won't mind me mentioning this because I'm not going to name them. But they currently are trying to put together a very healthy daily routine. And we work together once a month. And this person has a lot of resistance. It's not unusual for me to meet clients like this. I've had it myself. You know, the life we dream of is very different to the one we were brought up in usually. So, and the conditions that we were brought up in. So, you know, the resistance is our protection. It's our cocoon. So I never judge someone with resistance. However, if somebody thinks that in not doing the basics, doing the maths, that it's going to work for them, and that they can tell me, no, I know how it's going to be. I don't need to do all the stuff, all the maths, all the 2 and 2, because I need this now. I need this. I've got anxiety. I'm busy. No. The roots on the tree are needed for the fruit to be there. So with this beautiful, wonderful client of mine, I've had to say, no, I can't give you alternatives. I can't give you a secret mathematical equation that means that only you don't do the root stuff. You've got to do the maths. And I know you're scared to go back to the basics and do those things, because it's only in those basic things, it's only in that coding that it's going to work, that it's going to add up. It's so simple, astrology. These energies are so fantastically clarifying, and it almost makes you laugh at how you've thought you're going to get where you want to get without doing the basic steps. If it wasn't so painful sometimes, I would laugh all the time. So that's me, maths teacher this month. Who would have ever known that? I hope that this will help you this month to draw some straight lines, to get very practical. Whether you like maths, not like me, I don't like maths usually, but that's perhaps why certain things have gone wrong in my life, or things haven't been stable enough, because I haven't followed the practical steps. And it's not to say life can't be magical when you follow the steps. Your divine blueprint is amazing, and it's full of your pure potential. If you align to it, you're so much more than you think you are. You really are. And this heart intelligence, yeah, it speaks to you, it corrects you. And even if your dreams are really, really small, they're going to feel so gorgeous. When you receive your truth, it feels huge, even if it's tiny. It's not about the size of our dreams or our bank account. It's our bliss and our joy and what's true to us. When it actually comes, all the superficial things don't make sense anymore. I'm putting a link down below because on the 9th of May we have a program starting called From Fine to Shine. It's only a 21-day journey, travelling from the new moon in Taurus through to a few days after the full moon in Sagittarius, which is the perfect time to set your radar to shine and to come out flying this summer. It's all going to be held in a Facebook private group, and I have a gorgeous friend of mine collaborating, Louise Maxwell, renowned hairdresser and makeup artist, twice British Hairdresser of the Year, once in her own right, once in a team. And she loves natural beauty. She works with beautiful people. She works with stars. I won't name them here, but check her on Instagram. But why I chose to work with Louise, not only does she know my work and has followed my processes, but she also is a big advocate for natural beauty, for allowing your truth to come through and to not over trying, because beauty really is relaxed. When someone's beautiful, it's because they're at ease in themselves. No matter what age, you look at someone, an 80-year-old yoga teacher, and it's like, wow, they're shining, and the radiance and the youth just comes through them because, yeah, they're shining, they're happy, they're beautiful. So I welcome you on board that little trip. If you join with a friend, you can either share the price or gift it to a friend. One person comes free, basically. So yeah, hop on board with that, and maybe I'll see you there. We start with a live call, and but you can join a bit later if you don't make it on time. Everything will be in the link below, going to our website, butterflyairways.com. So yeah, thank you for joining me. And I'll give you an update on the flowers on the island, which are just about to get swamped by the grasses and the barley and the wheat. And then next month you'll see that everything's going to start going very yellow and dry. So we're hanging on to those last glimpses of greenery. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. Have a beautiful month. Reach out if you need us. And I'll see you next time in Gemini, which is okay. Oh, lots of love. Bye.